right, Nick, let me ask you, do you think Zion should shut it down for the rest of the season?
Absolutely, unequivocally not. And this is one of the most ridiculous, to me, manufactured debates and controversies I can remember. He is not a football player. He is not a running back. He does not have a certain number of carries on his body. He also is a guy that chose to go to Duke to play in big games, chose to go to Duke when he was with any other school in the country. He'd be the top recruit for their class. He chose to go to the one place where he was second or third going into it, chose to play for that coach, did all of this eyes wide open because he wants to get better, he wants to play basketball, and he wants to play on the biggest stage. There is no realistic basketball injury Zion Williamson could suffer that causes him to fall out of the top 3. I don't even think fall out of the #1 pick. And if today we found out Duke basketball is mired in a horrible scandal and the program was shut down for the year, death penalty for the season, you know what Zion Williamson would be doing the day he gets cleared by doctors?
Playing basketball.
Playing pickup ball at the Duke Rec Center. You know what all the best NBA players do in the summer? They go to UCLA and they play basketball. Basketball players play basketball year-round. They might take 3 weeks to the south of France in the off-season on some super yacht, and then they're out hooping. Like, what basketball players shut it down to protect? It's never happened because it's so different. The injury risk is different than the other sports. The financial guarantees are different than the other sports. And the need to improve on a day-to-day basis, that's consistent with the sports, and he's got a great opportunity to do it.
When I talk to a lot of coaches, the top coaches, and one of the things that they really don't like about this generation of athlete and their parents or people handlers is that everyone has just forgotten about the process of developing a hooper, a football player, tennis. Everyone just wants the quick microwave, express, get there. Do you realize how good he's gotten in the last 2 months playing basketball at Duke? Because when you decide to go to Duke, not only the recruiting things, yes, they're available, but look at his other options, all right? He couldn't go to the NBA. He could have went to the developmental league, right? So what kind of medical staff do they have there? You think it's better than Duke and the pristine Duke hospitals and all those? What about the USA basketball? It's been under the leadership of what coach?
Coach K.
For how many years?
At least better than a decade now.
Oh, okay. So you're going to a university, not from a medical standpoint, that's going to be your best, it's going to be your best solution. From a coaching standpoint and your development, it's the best solution. From a fan standpoint, playing on the national stage, big audiences, big games, getting challenged to get better, that's the best place to be. So we need to stop having this. And the problem has been people who haven't played sports typically get on this. But now we've had some prominent athletes, people that have been successful. Now they've lost their mind. And they're starting to say, oh, you know something, he shouldn't play. We have Hall of Fame basketball players that, oh, he shouldn't play. That player's wrong because they forgot about their development and how critical it was at this stage of their career. He does not have a jump shot. He does not have an intermediate game. All those things need to be developed, and they'll be developed best playing for Coach K and playing for Duke. So I'm with you. This is an idiotic conversation, debate to have. Hoopers, who?
And he needs to play in big games because when he goes #1 overall, he's not going to play in a big game for at least 2 years. A minimum of 2 years when the Suns or the Cavs or the Bulls or whomever gets him, he is not going to be in the playoffs anytime soon. So those ACC tournament games, those NCAA tournament games, those will be at least something he can draw upon when he's in big NBA games. And here's what's happened here, in my opinion, Jenna. There are a lot of people similar to me that have an enormous issue with the NCAA, that have an enormous issue that Zion doesn't already have a shoe deal, that he's not able to sign autographs for money, that we saw the Duke-Carolina ticket prices were more than Super Bowl ticket prices for some seats, and we saw he's not getting a cut of it. We know what Coach K makes. And some people can't help themselves, but if they feel that way about the NCAA, then anytime something like this comes up, they want to say, well, you screw the NCAA. Okay, you can say screw the NCAA. Doesn't mean it's best for the player. Zion Williamson was not considered a top 3 pick before this season started. He has now made himself the unanimous #1 pick that people say you would trade him for Anthony Davis straight up. Maybe you'd rather have Zion. Playing for Duke in this instance for this player has been great for him.
And anyone can blow out their shoe. All right? That shoe he's wearing, the PG2, that's the most popular shoe worn in the NBA. So people are like, oh, man, he can get hurt. He can get hurt working out. Because like you said, if he's not at the rec center playing, whatever agent he decides to go to, he's going to be in some gym with some quality players playing against him, and these type of things can happen all the time. He slipped on the floor. His shoe did blow out. All right? That can happen anywhere. So you can't overreact because you don't like the NCAA and because he had a malfunction with his sneakers.
No, he's going to be more protected at Duke than he will be playing anywhere else. But he also wants to play. He wants to get back out there.
Oh, no, forget about that, though, Jenna. What the athlete wants and everything, and his goal, oh, that really doesn't matter. Everyone else wants to take direction of someone else's career, someone else's talent. That should be the most important thing. What does the kid want to do? And the kid has the type of attitude that we have seen, and that's why in America, the sports has been great because our best players, they all wanted to play. Thank God God didn't give someone with Zion his ability and give them the work ethic of someone else, because I believe he has the right attitude. He picked the right school, and he's doing the right thing for his career.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.